But 40 podcast. Let's go. So tonight we're still filming at the Hotel Carousel, and we have Michelle Vaughan, MC Vaughan, the beautiful and talented Michelle Vaughan. We're so happy to have you on.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
For you guys to invite me over here to do this podcast. It's my very first time, so.
Awesome. So let's start at the beginning. Like, where you're born and raised.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in the Philippines. Born here in Angeles City, and then after the volcano erupted, which is the Mount Pinatubo, my mom took me to the province at Negros Occidental. So that's where I really grew up at my grandparents, and my mom came back here to start working again. So. And obviously, I'm black skinned. So my father is Black American. He's in the Air Force. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet my father, and actually, maybe he thinks that my mom already aborted me.
Wow.
Yeah, because he actually gave my mom money after he found out that my mom was pregnant with me, and then he's like, "Oh, I can't have that because my wife will find out," and they're both in the military that time. So, but they cannot have a baby. So, my mom, she works in Angeles at Walking Street, and then that's where they met, and then. He likes my mom, and then not until he found out that my mom got pregnant, he was like, "Oh, you gotta get rid of that because, I can't have a baby outside my marriage." So, but obviously my mom kept me, and here am I. I grew up with my grandparents. Technically, I didn't grow up with my mom until I grew up.
No, I mean, I'm glad your mom didn't get rid of you because I'm happy we got to meet you.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. Was your dad stationed here, or was he just visiting, or?
Yeah, he was stationed here. That's way back 1985.
In Clark.
In the Clark Air Base. And then, as far as I remember, my mom told me he was what you call this? Shucks, I forgot. It's like he was in the Air Force, but TDY.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, but I tried to locate him or find him. Actually, when I was growing up, when I was in my mid-20s, I tried to look for him, but unfortunately, there's so many names that was his name was very common. And then they asked me, even my friends that are veterans already before, they would try to help me out. Okay, give me the information that you know about your dad. But then it was very unfortunate because he has so many names. So they asked me specifically, do you know his social security? It's like,
Yeah, how would you know that?
my mom
though?
doesn't know.
Yeah, how would you know
it.
that?
So, yeah.
No, that's crazy. So, we got to know you, obviously, right after the pandemic. We came over, and we were partying at Sky, and you were working at Sky.
Yeah.
And this lady's the life of the party, a fantastic MC. So we had a lot of fun, partying with her, and we always see her when we come back here. So how did you get into working at Walking Street? Were you always into music and MC? Walk me through your work life and how you got to where you're at now.
Right. That's a pretty long story.
We got time.
Yes. Well, to start, I don't have any idea about Walking Street at all, even though my mom lives here, because my mom had another family. So she got married to a Filipino guy, and they had a baby. I have a stepsister. So we're 10 years gap. I got here in Angeles City because I fucked up my life back in Manila. It was bad decision making I had there. During college, my mom didn't spend a penny on my education since I started school. because not to brag or whatever, like I was an academic scholar from grade school to college. I was an athlete scholar, athlete scholar, So until like my decision making in life was like really messed up because I started to become a breadwinner when I was in college, So I met this guy, teenage life, things like that. So this one time I'm supposed to had a training at the Philippine Navy for volleyball tournament.
Okay, I was gonna ask what sport you played.
Yeah, I
Volleyball.
played volleyball
Okay.
for Adamson University in Manila. So I met this guy, it was like promises and all that. I was very innocent, like
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just teenager, got fall in love with some stupid guy.
Do we all make bad decisions when we're young?
Right.
I've made plenty of them.
So,
Trust me.
so unfortunately, I got pregnant. My first boyfriend was a black guy, and then that's where it all started. Like, I got pregnant, but unfortunately, I got miscarriage. So I was 24 that time. And then I had to undergo an operation because of the baby. Like it was like what you call this? It was a miscarriage. There was a name called there. Like I forgot the name.
Stillborn.
But yeah, they have to slice my tummy to
Oh,
get the
wow.
dead baby out.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
traumatizing.
Yes, it was very traumatizing. And then the fact that I told this guy about it, and he was like, "Are you sure that was my baby?" Blah blah blah. I was
Oh,
like,
what a dickhead.
"Really?" So that at that time I was at the peak of my career. I was in third year college, and then I was like, "What did I do?" This is all messed up right now because people already starting to know me that she's the swagger of the volleyball court and everything. People, I started to be part of the national team. It was all there, and then one bad decision I made, it was like poof, it's gone, So I was hospitalized in Manila. I was all by myself. No, not really. It was my best friend was there. My college best friend, she took care of me, and then that's where I decided to move here in Angeles City. I was like, okay, I need to recover, but what am I gonna do next? Because my college scholarship is gone. I can't go back to school anymore. All of my opportunities are all gone. So I have to start back to zero again. And then I was like riding a bus going back to Angeles City. I was like really blank. I really didn't know what to do. And then knowing the fact that my mom's life here and my sister is not as good as it looks. It's like really bad because her husband left her also. So, and that time my mom was very sick. He got like myoma or the fiber, the
Like cancer.
no, it's not like cancer, but it's a common for women who they look like they're pregnant. So
Okay.
that's what happened with my mom. And I was recovering from my miscarriage at that time. So I was like, we are really like hit rock bottom that time. And I don't know where to start. So I tried to be strong, and my sister was rebellious at that time too because she was Papa's girl, So, and we're not really that good terms because I really hated her so bad. But that's a different story. So it was like we're like living this hotel room is like very big for our compared to our where we were staying before. So we were just like sitting sleeping next to each other on the floor. So I was like, oh God, you're really punishing me really bad right now, but okay. I have to be strong among three of us because this is just my family, my mom and my sister, So I don't know anything about Angeles City, none, because I never stepped foot here until my mom before, So, okay, I was like, where am I gonna start now? So I started walking around after a couple of weeks of recovering. Started looking. I contacted one of my friend here who is also a Blasian girl. It's like, there's a new club here. It's called High Society. You have to check it out. So that was 2012, if I'm not mistaken. 2012. So we went there that night. It was like, oh, I like it here. It's like, I was like overwhelmed seeing a lot of foreigners. Like
'Cause
seriously.
you grew up in the province.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna be bullied here because I see a lot of my skin in here, like walking around, like black people, or women like me that are obviously Blasians too. It's like, okay, that's cool. So I was just like sitting there, and then I was just enjoying the music and everything because I never been to the club before, never ever. I was
you were an athlete too.
yeah,
So.
and besides, come on now, I lost my virginity when I was 21, so I'm a late bloomer. So after that, I was like, okay, this is nice here, but I need a job. I need a job ASAP. I told my friend, like, okay, just relax for now. Just you're still recovering and all that. So this one guy, the MC guy, Polymac. Yeah, Polymac, I'm not sure if you know him, is the one of the legendary MC in Angeles City. So he was the MC there at High Society that time. And then this one time, Beyonce song played, like this Love on Top song. So he stopped where we were sitting at, and then he gave me the mic. So I started singing, "Baby, it's you." So everyone's like, because I have a very loud voice, especially with the mic on. And then, "Oh, you got a voice. You can be MC here, blah blah blah." Really? Like, yeah, but they didn't give me that job. My first job here was actually a photographer at the club.
Okay.
So I started working that 2013 October. The manager there was late Miguel. He passed away already. So he gave me the job there. I was like, I don't know anything about photography. I don't know. Just take pictures of the people. And like, okay. So that's where I became a photographer at High Society. Started 2013. And then I was still like adjusting with the environment, and the people around because, like I said, I've never been in walking
It's a
street.
crazy fucking environment for
Yes.
anybody.
I was like, oh gosh, like this is crazy. Like every time I go to work, but I feel like I belong, because I work at a call center before, as a customer service agent, and then. But I didn't last there because, sorry to say this, but Americans are really annoying me, like over the phone. Like, oh gosh.
No doubt. Yeah,
Yes.
no.
But I think I found my passion, like, as being in the crowd. You know what I mean? Like, socializing with people was my forte. And I like it. And I like that. And that was also my healing process from all the bad decisions I made in my life before. Because every time I go home and I see our situation, like it always crushes me. Like, how am I gonna get out from this situation? But it's a process, because I don't know anything about Angeles City, and so I started working there at High Society, but every now and then, like, if I didn't do this, I was supposed to be at this peak, already. That was my regrets. Everyone has regrets,
Of course.
Even until now. Like, every time I see videos of players on the television, like, I was supposed to be there, but we cannot learn from our bad decisions in life, so it is what it is. And that's where I started photography for a year. And then Polymac, okay, I should teach you how to do emceeing and how to hype the crowd. And then after a year, I got 2 jobs. I was taking pictures, and at the same time, I had a microphone in the hand. So that's where it started. And then, but I was just stuck there. You know, I mean, stuck being, like I wasn't able to get out and go to other clubs and
advance. You weren't able to advance.
But
in your
I don't want to
career.
say anything negative about that, but I was told that I was not good enough. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay in my zone. I'm stay here because I'm not good enough to hype a different crowd, you know. So that's where I got stuck, and then pandemic happened.
So you know what's crazy about your story? Like, so when we first met you, I think we were here maybe 2 or 3 nights, and we'd gone into Club Sky, and you weren't working the first night we went in there, and we'd never really been to Club Sky, but the reason we went in is we were staying on the hotel above it, right? So we went in, we had a really good time, and then the next night we went in is when you were working, and you were such a badass MC. You changed the whole vibe of the whole fucking
Thank
place. So instantly we were drawn to you, and we're like, dude, this chick's badass, you know? So obviously ever since then, we've always hung out with you when we came here and you know, and spent time at the clubs wherever you're at. But yeah, no, whoever said you weren't good enough is full of shit because...
Yeah. So that actually like got stuck on my head. Like I wasn't good enough. I'm not good enough, you know, because I feel jealous every time I see, because if you know, like I'm the only MC here in Angeles, female MC. Most of the MCs here are men.
Yeah.
So of course, like they've been doing this for many years compared to mine, and then you guys meeting me at Club Sky, like the bars. I told myself before, I will never ever work at a bar, never. But pandemic happens, and then that time I was just so lucky because that time I had a boyfriend. It was like, you know, helping me out, and other friends looking out for me. So we survived pandemic. If not for them, like I don't know. I really don't know. But thanks to those people, you know. And then 2021, I was able to get a job. I went back to working as a call center agent. And that I stayed there for 11 months. I was working from home. And then my fucked up manager was like, oh, you have to go back to site because everyone is at site. And I was like, I don't care about them. It's pandemic. You know, like we're breathing the same air on the floor, and then you have your own office and you want me to go back there. Well, I'm already like comfortable at home taking calls, you know? So it's a protocol. Like, fuck that protocol. So, you know, I hated it. And then it was supposed to be a good job because I was already comfortable working at home, you know, and then, but I said, fuck this. I resigned. I was like, I'm not going to go back there at site, you know, especially on this pandemic. So I quit, and then I was like, shit, no, I don't have a job.
Were you missing the MC stuff, though?
Yes.
Because you said you found some passion in it, yeah?
I always do. But that pandemic, everything is closed.
Yeah, everything's closed.
You know,
yeah.
so
Must have been real tough.
So that was 2021, and then it's starting to open slowly. Although there were curfews, but there are a few bars, secret bars that a lot of people don't know. Like, oh, gotta go here. It's a secret place, you know. So I go there secretly, and then 2021, 2022. Mega Dance started to open. But before Mega Dance, I was already working at Club Sky and Club 123. It's the same owner.
Yeah. That's when we met you.
Yeah. Actually, I forgot. I forgot how did I go to Club Sky.
You don't even remember.
Oh, I was walking one time in Walking Street, and then Sahil called me there. Like, oh, you're MC Vaughan. Like, you want to work here? I was like, sure.
That easy, huh?
Yes. So how much are you going to pay me? 600 is good. I was like, I can't complain. Like, I
Work's
need a
work.
job.
Yeah.
It's like, but he said, okay, but you're gonna work at 2 bars, 1, 2, 3 in Club Sky. So every day, every night, I go back and forth like that. It's like, cool, sure. So I enjoyed it, although at first I didn't like it to be there because I always had this impression in my mind, like, oh, now a lot of people are gonna look down more on me because I work at the bar. That's the mentality of foreigners, mostly foreigners. Like, oh, she's a bar girl, blah blah blah. But when I started working at Club Sky and looked deeply into it, when knowing all the girls that work there, man, like my situation, I'm thankful. I'm grateful, and I'm thankful that I have roof over my head compared to these girls. It's like I belong here, So every day they always have like, MC Vaughan, can I talk to you? So I was the MC there slash guidance
Therapist.
counselor. So I was like, you cannot really judge the people until you get to know them. So I enjoyed being there and working with Red. Actually, Red was like my partner in crime there at Club Sky, because he was like, oh, I've known you since high society days with Polymac. You guys are the OGs, MC, blah blah blah. So he's always like, bringing bubbles to my head, like, oh, you're okay. I'm a good MC. Then shut up.
No, Red's
But
the
yeah,
best.
Red is a very good guy.
Yeah, no, we love Red. No, I mean that's a crazy story. I love how positive you remain through all your struggle. I mean,
Not every day.
well, it's always a fight, right?
Yeah,
But you're obviously a fighter. I mean, you haven't given up.
I did many times. Like, really. Whew. Yeah, many times. Like, since being part ways with my mom, that's where all it started. Like, I always ask my don't wanna cry.
Yeah.
Oh, we got tissue over there.
You see, this is what I don't like about, because even though like you guys see me as a tough woman, but I'm a very soft, very very soft when it comes to this kind of topic. So like when my mom took me to the province, it was like, when grown people made promises to kids, kids kept that promise, so like, I'm gonna come back for you, I'm gonna come back for you. I just need to go back to work because I need to support you. So I was like, okay, mama, I will wait for you. And then been years. It's like, where's my mom? I want my mom because my grandmother doesn't like me. My grandfather, who loves me, passed away in a very short period of time, and he was very old that time too. So I was like, nobody's gonna be, no one's is going to. I'm not anyone's favorite anymore aside from my grandfather, because my grandmother, like, among her children, my mom is her favorite daughter, but I'm not her favorite granddaughter. So, like, and especially like growing up, being colored skin and being black, I never thought that I was already bullied within my family, being called the N word and everything. I thought it was just a joke, and then going to school in a public transportation and being called, oh, you're an Aita, Aita is like our Aborigines here in the Philippines, like the,
Yeah, yeah.
So like, okay, so, because I was really, really dark when I was like little, so, but I never find comfort at home. I always find comfort at school. Like, I think like other people, like people from school likes me more than people from home, So as I grew up and then This one time I was in fifth grade. My mom sent a letter. It's like, oh, you're going to be a big sister now. It's like, I wasn't happy at all. I cried my heart out. Like, oh, is that why you didn't come back here? Because you have your own family now? So I feel abandoned
Yeah,
that
no,
time.
that's a hard thing to
Like,
deal with as a kid.
it's like my mom's not coming back anymore. She's not gonna take me back anymore. So it was really hard for me. Like, and I don't have anyone to talk to at home about that because nobody cares about what I feel. And the fact that I was also a hard-headed growing up teenager, like I was like, okay, cool, but they didn't even try to get to know me personally as their niece, as their granddaughter. I always got beaten up by my aunt who is a tomboy. I don't know why, but and then every time I excel at school, like I didn't get high grades as anyone expect to be from a scholar student, but I excel with a lot of things at school activities, sports. They don't know all of that because they don't give shit about me. And then I just realized that when I was just growing up, I was like, these people doesn't love me at all. Like, although my mom calls on the telephone from the neighbor to check on me, but it's still different. It's still different. And then I was graduating high school. So my mom, her husband, and my stepdaughter went home to the province. And then I don't know what's going on. She had an argument with with her big sister, and then it's like, "Oh, pack up your things. We're leaving." Huh? Leaving where? I'm graduating high school already. What are you talking about? No, you're going with us. I'm not going anywhere. So I had the conversation got heated between me and my mom. And then my mom that time, she was very strict. She was very, she hit me that fast, even though I was already like a teenage big girl, bigger than her, but she always like smacked the shit out of me. like, no, mom, let me graduate high school first before you take me anywhere you want me to. Like, I need to graduate high school first because I have a very, very good education. Like, my school, although it was very limited student from preschool to high school, it was just like we are 101 from preschool. So
The whole class.
yes, and the whole class, because it's a Christian school, but we are very, very advanced, and we do self studies. So, unlike public school, like facing teachers on, but unlike us, we're just like doing our pace work and all that, and just learning it on your own. So we are very advanced that time until oh gosh, like my mom, like I hated her at that time. I hated her. And then she went to school with me and talked to the principal, and then it was like, oh, I need to take all of her credentials because we're going to Mindoro. Mindoro is where her husbands live. Because she said her husband's father is dying. I was like, I don't care. I don't care about your husband. I don't care about your daughter. You're not gonna come here and just, you know.
Uproot you and take you away.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she was very eager with what she wanted to do. I was crying at the principal office, like, please don't let my mom do this. I want to graduate here. Because, I studied there since kinder.
Yeah, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, just one more year, mom, one more year. I'm graduating high school. But she fucked it up, and then
So you left.
we left.
Wow.
And that time, when I was born, my mom put me on a Amiration Foundation where Blasians like us can get a foster parent from the States or anywhere in the world. But then when they saw my birth certificate that I was named after my father, they have to cancel that. So my friend's mom had to change that again and change it to my mom's last name. So that's where I got a foster parent from California. I don't know if she's still alive, but that time she was very old. She was very, very kind lady. Always check on me. So I always get support from that Miss Margaret. Oh, I remember her name. Margaret, that's her name. So she always sends me letter, cards, everything. And that time, the foundation sent us a letter. I was second year high school. We're sorry to inform you, but we had to cut off all of the sponsorships from your foster parents. Blah blah blah. I don't understand. So I was one of those that got cut off. So they sent me a whole check of 36,000 pesos. But that time that was a huge amount, right? So my grandmother put it on the bank. It was she said it's for my college funding. I was like, okay, cool. But they gave me the what you call this, the bank book. Okay, you hold that. That's your money. And blah blah blah. And the worst part is that money. I tried to go to bank that one time because I was excited to celebrate my birthday. So when my mom found out, did you get cash out of your bank account? I was like, yeah, because I want to celebrate my birthday. That bank looked like smack on my face. Go back to the bank and put that money back. It's like I had no choice. So I went back and put the money back. But she uses that money for when we left. We living in the city and then moving to a place in Mindoro where we live literally next to a piggery.
Oh, that stinks.
You know, it was a hut, we call it Bahay Kubo. Yeah. So that's where we live. And then, you know, there are like NPAs here. I'm not sure if you know those guys, the NPAs in the mountains,
Yeah,
like
the
or the
ones that, like,
rebels.
Okay.
like do the kidnapping.
Yeah.
Okay. Terrorists.
We don't have
essentially.
doors. We only have curtains.
Jeez.
And they was just like sneaking on us, you know, hey, good evening, guys. Do you have food there? Mama, who are these people? And they have guns,
Jesus.
you know? And, oh, it was the worst. So that time, I started to become rebellious. I was very, very rebellious. I started to learn how to smoke, drink, and then my mom always like I started like talking back to my mom because I was mad, you know, like you you didn't respect my decision. Like you act all of a sudden you act like a mother to me. So I was very, very mad and then after I graduated high school, I asked my grandmother, please take me out of this place. So he sent money for a boat fare. So it was me and my sister went back to Negros to my grandparents, to my grandmother. And I was like, okay, I can't go to college because I can't afford college. I was 15 years old that time. I graduated early in high school. So my grandmother said like, I'm gonna introduce you to this couple, married couple that recently had a baby. What do I know about taking care of a baby? But I did. I did. I did took care of an infant, of a baby for a year in a one of the like upscale family in the province. And then my elder cousin, she's a athlete scholar in one of the universities there in the province. I was like, "Do you know how to play volleyball?" Like, yes. Like, okay, that was summer. Go, you have to come with me, and then you go for a tryout at her school. And then instantly the coach liked me. Oh, I can train you. You're good. You can be professional one day.
You're tall.
Yeah.
And that's a valuable.
And I was the tallest too.
Yeah, that's a valuable
during-
asset in volleyball.
Yeah. So that's where it started.
So obviously your childhood is a massive struggle, a lot of hard times.
Yeah.
So you immersed yourself in your studies and your sports to try to get through that, and that's what you focused on?
Yeah. I started studying college in province. I think that was 2002 or 2001 to 2002, and then we have this called university games where all of the universities, national universities in the Philippines, will be competing in one place, which is in our province. So a lot of coaches from different universities are like they're hunting players where they can pirate to take them to their university.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was lucky. And I was chosen. I had to choose 3 universities. One is De La Salle, one is University of the East, and Adamson University. But I wasn't able to choose the first one because they're very rich kids there,
At De La Salle.
Yeah, De La Salle. UE is like, not really. But Adamson, the team captain there was my kababayan. She's also an Ilongga. So I was like, okay, I choose Adamson University. And they gave me a good offer. So why not? I'm going to go to college.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm going to go to college. So, and the fact that I'm going to college in Manila, I was very excited because I told my mom, like, oh, I will be able to visit you now. I will be able to see you often now. It's just like, okay, huh? That's it? Okay. So we moved to Adamson. Excuse me. And then it was a life-changing, like living in the city in Manila. I was like, oh, wow, the traffic, people in here.
That city's
yes.
crazy.
And I was on my own. I started to be like independent, like, oh, this is my life now. Like, nobody's gonna look after me but me. So my teammates, like, we're in one dormitory, like, they have families. Who supports them, aside from the allowance that we get from the school. They got supports from their
Hit the
parents.
AC for a minute. It's starting to warm up in here now.
Drink water too.
Yeah, take your time. No, that's one of the things about college that me and Glenn always talk about. Is it makes you grow up, yeah? Like, because all of a sudden you're all by yourself and you're a young kid and you got to figure it out.
Yeah, like, like, what am I gonna do? Going to school and everything. Like, I can't provide for my uniform. The uniform that I wear was from someone who graduated from that school.
Hand me down.
Shoes, someone gave it to me. I don't have anything but few clothes that I bought from the province. So it was a hard beginning. Going to college, especially in Manila. So, like, I always eat pancit canton every day. Like, although we're free from the tuition fees and everything, but we still have to take care of the miscellaneous, and the books, ball pens, from everything. So when my stepfather left my mom, that's where the problem starts. Like my mom always calls me, oh, your sister, like she's not at home yet, and it's late now, and I was at school. I'm like,
What are you gonna do?
what am I gonna do, mom? You know, so my mom stopped working that time because she was very, very depressed of her husband leaving her. Because they're both working in a bar. My mom was a cashier there, and then I don't know what that fucker would do that at the bar, but like he got tempted with all those bar girls there. So, and then this one time, my mom called me and she said, I had a fight with this bar girl, literally, like cat fight. What did your husband do? He was just standing there, and he said, who stands up first will be my choice.
Jesus Christ.
I was so pissed. I messaged him, like, that was Friday night. So after our training, everyone can go home to their families or whatever. So I decided to go home. I was like, once once I get there tonight, you better not be there tonight because I'm gonna kill you. It's like, oh, I'm waiting for you. I'll be waiting for you. His response like was like, oh, I'll be waiting for you, and then I can kill you first. It's like, okay, you wait me there. So I was like, I was at the bus. I was like really mad, like shaking mad because I was thinking about my mom, So I got there. I was rushing, running to the house, and it's like, where is he? Where is he? I went to the kitchen first, like literally grab a knife. Where is he? Where's your husband? He left. He took all of his stuff and he left.
Coward.
Yeah, that was
Pussy.
it. That he was gone after that. Left my mom, left his daughter there, and then it was like a struggle for me during my college days because my mom doesn't have a job, and then my sister was rebellious, and they started to like ask help from me. I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm still a student. So here's what I did. Like, since our batch at school was the first batch that was televised in our on that season. Like when I say that was, forgot what year, but our batch was the first season that was televised, national volleyball, UAP. So people started to recognize us, Adamson's gonna be playing against this university and everything. So we started like getting sponsors, like from shoes, from apparels and everything. So my other teammates, of course, they kept it.
You're
Of
selling
course,
it.
like I sell it. I sell mine. We have like 2 boxes of Adidas shoes. I don't have left anything because I had to sell that, and some of the money I sent it to my mom. So, and I think she knows that later on. She knows that later on because she always asks me, where'd you get this money? It's okay, Mom, don't worry about it. But I still want her to be proud of me.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
so every time we had a game in Manila that is live telecast, I ask her, like, can you come to Manila so you could watch our game? Yeah, but we don't have transportation fare. Oh, Mom, like, really? You're gonna watch me? Can you do something about it? I'll pay for it. Like, so watching her watching me playing games, like, it makes my heart like happy, because my mom is watching me play live and people see me on the television. So those are the things that I wish I didn't do bad decisions in my life, but it's all good. It is what it is. But I'm not the only one who made bad decisions
Oh no,
in
I've made
life.
plenty.
So
When did you start to learn English? Because your English is awesome. So like, is that something you learned throughout school, or when did you start to learn English?
which one? English.
Yeah.
I think I was saying like earlier, my school at the province was exclusive, and it was an EOP environment, so we like speak English to each other, and I think that's where my English skills got more developed, and especially I always joined like speech, which is also English, and pronunciation and everything. I'm so good at that before, like spelling bees and everything. I'm so good at that. So I think that's where I got my English, good English, and I had a very, very good teacher too.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
she was a very, very good English teacher. So, and I think being black is part of that.
I just
So,
assumed that maybe you were brought up with an American parent, and that's why you spoke such good English. When I met you, just obviously not knowing anything about
Yeah.
you, so it's even more amazing to hear that you literally learned it yourself through school and studying. That's awesome, and that's probably why you're able to work in the call center because your English is so good.
yeah. And that was a good part. Like when I got my first interview at a call center, because I didn't know anything about BPO or call center, being a call center agent. So I got an interview. I was just lucky that time because the interviewer recognized me. Oh, you're Sigudini, right? Who plays volleyball? I was like, yeah. Okay, you're hired.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that was an advantage. So the reason why my last name now is Vaughan, because when I got my birth certificate, I was shocked. I was like, because since birth, my name is Michelle Segura Sigudine. So my name is after my mom's. When I got my birth certificate, because I was, that time I need to get a passport because we were supposed to have a tournament in Malaysia that time, but I got left out because I got a problem with my
Your
passport
paperwork, yeah.
paperwork. I told my mom, like, what is this? Why you didn't tell me that my birth certificate is after my dad's? Oh, I didn't know anything about that, Michelle. I'm so sorry. I was mad because I was the only one got left out
Oh,
from
that
the team.
sucks.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
So, you know what I did that time? I was still in college. I was advised, you know what, Michelle, just follow what's on your birth certificate, and then go to an attorney and ask for affidavit of discrepancy, something like that. So I went to school because we have a lawyer's office there in Adamson. So he helped me out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you this, give you that. So just follow what's on your birth certificate so that you don't have to go back to your old name. So that's where I started. All of my government IDs, I changed it to Vaughn. So I got my passport. My passport name there is Vaughn, all of it. So if I have to get my credentials from my school, it needs all of it will be Vaughn. So that's what. So my name is Michelle Sigodini Vaughn.
There
That's
you
my
go.
last name.
So something I want to get into and talk to you more about is you mentioned earlier about like foreigners and walking street and looking down on bar girls and whatnot. So that's kind of one of the reasons we started our YouTube channel and this whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
We love coming here, right? And you guys always show us a great time. And there was so much negativity on YouTube about walking street and the girls and just the whole game here, right? So we decided that we're going to do something completely different than anybody else on YouTube
Right.
and show the positivity of how much fun it is. So when you brought that up, like, you're our first guest of that's, you know, Filipina that actually works in this environment. So that's exciting for us. But to hear more of your take on that, why are people such dickheads when they come here and look down on it when they're here for a good time? I don't understand it.
That's a very good question. Because honestly, you know, like being in the street for many years, I've learned a lot and see a lot of BS here with a lot of foreigners, even locals, you know, on how they treat people here. I cannot say that I dislike a lot of foreigners or I have favoritism from Americans, Europeans, or whatever race they are, but some of them are assholes, you know, and the fact that they look down on women here in Angeles City. My mom told me before, the military guys, they call this the obscene city. And I get that,
Yeah.
you know, obviously. So, but a lot of, and despite of the negative words that are people are throwing here in the street, there are still good people in here. But why did they choose to be here and marry a lot of people of women that works in the bar? And at the same time, I don't blame some of these foreigners because they have bad experiences. And you know, like it's not only Angeles City.
No, definitely not.
You know,
I think the experience part of it is a good point. Like, I think guys get burned because they don't really look at what the situation is,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean, and then they have a bad experience and then they just go straight negative town from here on
Exactly.
out. And it's like, you got to realize, you know, what the place is about. You know,
yeah.
like, I like hearing your story because I don't think people understand the struggles that you guys go through and the lack of opportunities you have. Like you said, after, you know, your college thing, you had you had nowhere to go, you know, and you fortunately landed, you know, working as an MC and you're awesome at it. But a lot of these girls don't have that talent or they don't have that opportunity, and they have the opportunity of being a bar girl. And
Yeah,
they gotta
starting from education.
exactly,
You know?
you know,
And a lot of, I heard a lot of stories from all these girls. Like, they were asked from their province, from someone that lives here, like, oh, you want to be a housemaid? You know, you can come with me so I could give you a job. And then when they got here, they got shocked, like, oh, why do I have to get naked in front of these people that I don't even know? But they took advantage of their, because not all, but a lot of people of the province are illiterate. I don't say that in a bad
yeah,
way.
they just don't have an opportunity for
You know?
education. Yeah.
But putting them here by surprise, is like they don't have a choice anymore, and they can't go back there to their province because they don't have money. Oh, I'm already here.
Well, they're stuck.
Yeah,
You know,
and some of them are abused, physically abused, and that's the only place that, you know, I think, I don't know what you call that, but being or working in the bar is like, okay, so even though I get late, I'm gonna get paid, but this is not what I want. But I don't have a choice. My mom needs money. My sister needs to go to school. You know, like my kid, my babies in the province, I need to take care of them.
it's survival.
Yeah.
And people got to survive, right?
And there are some girls that I always say, like, when they like vent out or like tell me about this story, like, you don't have to be a bar girl forever, you know, because there's always a diamond in the rough, and this is the rough. You know, there are a lot of foreigners that go to this kind of place, like Angeles City, because they're looking for love.
Well, definitely.
No.
Definitely.
And if you got that chance, grab it. I don't like him. I don't like. What? Who do you like? This Filipino guys who doesn't have a job.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, like you get laid and then you give your money to this guy who doesn't even work. You know, and it's a common story. It's everywhere.
Super common.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's why I said earlier I don't blame some of these foreigners that because they have bad experiences. Like a lot, I know some people like they're already there. When I say already there, they already like got married. They have a nice house already, living in the man's country, and they still choose to come back here for what? I'm not happy. You know, like really? And then what you gonna do now? Going back to the bar. Really? You're that stupid? But I don't know. That this is everyone's walk of life, you know. You can't judge them, but we're just human beings.
100%.
You know, we're not perfect. So when people say like, "Oh, you don't have to judge them," like, but come on, like, you have an opportunity, and people. This man is willing to change your life. All you have to do is accept him, love him. If it's not hurting you physically, if it's not abusing you verbally, emotionally, what else are you looking for? He just want a wife, and he thought you're the good wife, you know, and you still don't want it. So what do you want? So you know, they don't know. They don't content. The contentment is not there, you know. I don't understand, but these are the stories that I hear from many girls there. So.
And then there's some success stories where they do marry somebody and they live happily ever after and whatnot.
And the one funny story. This was way back. I think that was 2014. So I have a friend. He's a German guy, so he comes here often, right? And then he got a girlfriend here. Happens that I know her. So although I know what this girl is doing, but it's none of my business, you know. But he hired, he literally hired me. "Oh, Michelle, I'm gonna pay you. Just tell me what she's doing here when I'm gone." It's like, come on, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, that's rough.
Don't put me in that situation, man. So he hired a private
investigator.
Yeah. And then he's crazy because he invited me on a dinner with his fiance, right? On a fancy restaurant. It's like, so the food was there, and it's like, "Oh, you're having a great time? Yeah, it's good. It's good to have you back, you know." Grabs the brown envelope, and it's like, "You piece of shit. You're a fucking cheater." So this is all where the money goes. Like, you buy this guy the motorcycle and all that. He found out that he had a Filipino boyfriend. He's supposed to get married already. He bought her family a house back in the province. Poof, gone.
Well, I mean, I understand why you say, like, you don't blame foreigners because of those bad experiences.
Yeah.
But at the same time, being a foreigner, like, you got to understand what you're getting yourself into. And
true.
And just like how you talk about, like, you know, a lot of these girls don't have an education and they don't have an opportunity to even get one. So in my perspective, you look at that situation, and if a girl's born in America, they have all these opportunities, right? And you can make whatever you want out of your life in that country. And a place like this, you don't have that. So to come in here and think you're going to just change somebody's life and they're going to just bow down and be the perfect wife, like, they have a past, you know, they have a story.
Exactly.
Like you said, we're all human. People make mistakes. People know what they know. So you got to go into it with an open mind and realize, like, what you're doing, you know. And a lot of these foreign guys don't, and then they get burned, and then they want to talk all this shit,
and then they're gonna blame Filipinas for it.
Exactly. And it's like, you're the one that came over here, you know. It's like, you got to take some ownership in that. So for us, like, obviously we try to go out and have a good time and bring the party to wherever we're at and make sure everyone's making money and having fun. And that's what we keep trying to push on our channel is like, come here and enjoy it, but know what it is. And, you know, the game is the game, right?
Actually, like, Single at 40 team is the only YouTube that I know here that comes here. And then later on, I found out that there are some YouTubers that are secretly filming here,
Oh, yeah.
like the bars, because they put it up on YouTube without bars' consent. So it's obvious that he was hiding his camera, because at Elite we're open. As long as we know where you're gonna post it and where you're gonna use it, we post it. We allow it, But I forgot this YouTube name, but he's I think he got banned here. He a white guy too, but it's crazy and there's this one too. I don't want to talk about that part. It's a black guy. It's an asshole.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not us. There's no way we would ever do the hidden camera shit. And you see the way we roll. It's like if you don't want to be on camera, we're not gonna put you on camera,
Right.
And the bars have been good to us, letting us film that. But we're just trying to show a different side of this place that nobody shows.
Yeah.
Like the positive, fun side of it. Because at the end of the day, like when you're out on the mic and we're all in the bar, it's a great time.
It's a great time.
And call it Sin City. There's Sin City in the United States called Las Vegas, and people go there to party, and that's why people come here. So
And now a lot of American women hates Filipinas.
yeah, because of the fucking internet,
Yes.
right?
They talk so bad about us, but hey, it is what it is. Like there's this like Filipina who lives in the States. They are defending Filipino women from this American black women, most especially. You talk shit about Filipino women. They call us like, oh, the Filipino women are very, very poor. You like that? You like those women? You can't even write. You can't even like really like.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's American women. That's why a lot of guys come here to meet girls, because American women are brutal. And Filipinos are loving and fun and beautiful, so I understand why guys are coming here to meet them. And obviously, people are going to get pissed on the other side,
Yeah.
the American women. But there's another guy we follow. His Passport Bros is like his thing.
Passport Bros, yeah,
and
that's
it's
the
like
thing.
coming to these different countries to meet girls. And
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you keep it in a positive light and you enjoy it and understand for what it is, it can be very positive and
Yeah.
very giving back.
It was fun. I mean, it's fun here in Angela City before. But comparing like what it was before, compare now, like I must admit, like now the fun is less.
How come? Why do you think that is?
Well, obviously, like it got affected with the pandemic, but before that pandemic, it was the lights are everywhere. The people don't sleep. 5 o'clock in the morning, and people are still awake, walking around. There's still bars that are open, and you still see a lot of foreigners walking back and forth, being drunk in the street, and all that. Now you don't see that anymore, because I've been to Thailand, so there's always a comparison between walking street in Pattaya and
Yeah.
here. Of course, Pattaya, like, I would love to go back to Pattaya because the walking street there is twice bigger, But a lot of foreigners comes here because Filipinos are fun, But a lot of them say, like, especially like my homeboys, like, it's not like it was before. It's boring there now, and I understand it. I get it. I see what they mean, But all of them like now, New Year's, like before, Walking Street is like very full because they're very excited to be here during New Year's because it's fun. The Philippines doing holidays, but now they rather go to Thailand because it's empty now. Like, especially like if you can see, like it's being taken over by Koreans, So
No, that's a lot of people. That's a topic a lot of guys on YouTube talk about, is the Korean takeover of Walking Street. So what we got to figure out is how to make Walking Street great again.
Everyone's figuring that out.
That's what we need to do, right?
No, Like we need to get back. We need to bring back the fun here. To be honest, like um, they just want the vibe that we had here before. I don't know how we're gonna put that back, but I hope you guys could figure that.
I mean, I think there's some things that will definitely change. I think you're right. The pandemic created the problem, and there's no doubt. But if you look at like the Wolfpack group, and this is their hotel, and they've got a lot of pretty cool bars, and I think if there's more guys like that that get involved and buy stuff and open stuff up, it can essentially get back to where it was at some point. But it's a long road for sure.
It's a very long road, yeah. I don't know. It's just that me personally, I'm still grateful that I still have a job here, but so many opportunities that has been wasted after the pandemic, If it's not pandemic, I'm sure like many bars are still open and not a lot of Koreans are owners of this place, You never see a Korean doorman before, like really. It's funny and it's crazy because there was not like that before.
No, you're right. Like I did notice that. I was walking down the street the other day, and there was Korean door guys trying to get you to come into the bar. Where back 10 years ago, it was all girls, right? That were standing outside that worked at the bar. That were trying to bring people in. So that's definitely changed.
And you know what's funny? Like before the pandemic, like so they starting to put up bars, like right, and they're fucking racist. They don't allow like especially black men to go inside the bar. Yeah, like in
No, we've had that problem. Obviously, I'm not black, but we went into a bar a few trips ago. Glenn's obviously Filipino, and we were with his cousin. It was me, him, and his cousin, and we go sit down. I don't remember which bar it was, but it was his cousin's first time, and like we were trying to meet some girls. No, they only talk to Koreans. That's what they told us. Yeah, the girls in the bar, like they only deal with Koreans. And we're like, we got money. Like, our money's still blue. Like, got 1,000 pesos bills. Like, and they were just like, no. Like, they only want to hang out with Koreans.
I don't know, maybe because they can't communicate with Americans English-wise. I don't know. Maybe that's one of the reason, or they just want to pimp their girls to their own kind. Yeah.
So if someone's watching this podcast, what's your advice to them? They should come, right? If foreigner, like, sell it.
Hey guys.
But what would your advice be to a foreigner that's coming for the first time? Like,
for the cherry people, no.
Cherry boy.
Oh yeah, cherry boys. No, for the foreigners that wants to visit Philippines. Like Philippines is a very beautiful country. You
Definitely.
know, not only Angeles City, which is part of that, but Philippines is one of the friendliest people that you can go to. Like hospitality. People always smile in the Philippines.
Fantastic customer service.
Customer service, everything. Like you will always be greeted with a smile, and people are always willing to help you when you need us. Like anywhere, even strangers.
Definitely.
Although there are bad people on the side, but majority of Filipino people are very, very kind. We love you to visit us here in the Philippines, and coming to Angeles City is one of it. Like, we're good people here. There are a lot of beautiful girls here.
Definitely.
So, there are a lot of foreigners who lives here because they like to be here, and that's one of the reason that I can give you that Philippines is one of the best country that you can visit, and see a lot of good wonders in the Philippines, the good food, people, beach, and beaches. if you know what I mean.
So we'll end it with this. If someone's watching this and they want to come here, come down to Walking Street, go to the Elite Bar, find MC Vaughan, and tell her you're here to party. She will show you a good time. She'll introduce you to girls. She'll introduce you to the crew, Single at 40, everybody. So come on down. Thanks for coming on. Your story's amazing.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me, guys. Hope to see you again soon and party with you guys. You always bring party in town, you know.
We love it. We love to bring the party with us.
And I hope you can bring more people with you next time and bring a lot of crowd here, and I'll make sure to help you hype up the crowd.
For sure.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.